Hucklebug.
Hucklebug. Hucklebug. Good. Is that a hucklebug or is this a hucklebug? Oh.
I mean this one.
The mushroom? I think that maybe this is the hucklebug. Do we want to see who wrote this? Hucklebug, written by Stephen Cosgrove, illustrated by Robin James.
Ooh.
A Serendipity book dedicated to every tiny living thing.
Yeah, even there's a book about if serendipity.
Yes, we like our Serendipity book. On a bright spring morning in a small village of hucklebugs in someone's backyard, Barry Hucklebug was born. There was nothing different about Barry. He was ordinary and fun-loving. For months and months after Barry was born, he played with the other bugs of the village. They would play hide-and-go-seek and hucks and rubbers. Where do you think they are? Do you see any bugs?
One there, and two there.
Wow, good finding. Early one day, Barry was called before the mayor of the village. The little village. Sorry, I skipped a word. Barry, he said, you are of age now, and you must work as the others of the village do. Food for all must be gathered by all. Me? Said an unbelieving Barry. But I don't want to. I want to stay with my friends. I want to run and play in the sunshine. Sternly, the mayor looked down at Barry and said, everyone must work in this village, and you are no exception. Please start tomorrow morning. That is all. You may go now. Is that Barry or is that the mayor?
The mayor.
Mayor. Yeah, I think you're right.
Barry.
Barry. Sadly, little Hucklebug walked back to his playmates, but since the mayor's news, he didn't feel like joining his friends. So Barry sat in a corner and pouted. What am I going to do? He said. The mayor is picking on me because I am small. Suddenly, an idea came to him. I will run away and live by myself. Nobody will bother me then. With that, Barry went straight to his room. He rummaged through his butterfly wings and old bumblebee tails until he found his yellow bandana. Carefully, he laid it on the floor and began packing. He packed his hand-knitted antenna warmers for cold winter mornings. He packed his favorite red t-shirt with the big, bold gold bee. And last but not least, he packed his new orange sneakers for special occasions. Then Barry tied his bandana into a big, careful knot, threw it over his shoulder. Where's your shoulder? And slipped away from the village.
His special shoes and his antenna warmer. That's the person.
That's Barry. The farther he went, the happier Barry became. There were beautiful flowers all around him. He saw forests of silver blue grass and a blue sky overhead.
Mommy, what's in there?
I don't know.
I think it's a baby.
What do I need of that old Hucklebug village? He laughed brightly. Out here I have everything I need. And snickering, he added, there's no one to tell me what to do. Once or twice, he came upon some of his fellow bugs gathering food for the village. As soon as he saw them, he would quickly jump behind a tall weed. From there, he laughed and sneered at them. for they had not thought to run away.
Mommy, why is that girl walking away?
They're taking food back to the village. After a time, Barry came to a rise in the path. Creeping slowly to the top, he discovered a furry caterpillar crawling along. Wow. Down below him, he saw a giant's house. Wow, exclaimed Barry. I bet it would be a lot of fun to go down there. Just then, the caterpillar turned and frowned at the runaway.
If you're thinking of going down there,
He grumbled.
I'd think
Again. Laughingly, Barry twisted the caterpillar's antenna together. Doot, 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 doot. Then he raced down the hill to the huge house below. That dumb caterpillar didn't know what he was talking about, he said. Nobody can tell me what to do. He ran, jumped, and giggled onto the lawn, and there he found the most amazing toys that he'd ever seen in his entire life. There were gigantic squirt guns and mammoth baseball gloves, which were large enough to live in if he wanted. He saw a beach ball that was at least 100 miles high. Barry felt as though he had found Hucklebug heaven.
Hucklebug heaven?
Barry climbed to the top of the beach ball and began bouncing up and down. He was doing flips and jumping so high he didn't notice that the door of the house was open. Some giant kids were coming out to play. The beach ball went flying. Barry went flying. The kids were playing kickball. Barry picked himself up from the cool grass. What was that? He asked. Slowly he turned and for the first time saw the giants. Wow! They are big! But maybe I can play anyway. With that, he ran over to join in their fun. But the giants didn't see him. Barry dodged from side to side. He managed to avoid being squashed by shoes as big as his house in the Hucklebug village. Hey, kids, he shouted. He was trying to be really loud. Can I play too? The giants were so busy laughing and giggling that they did not hear him. Just by chance, one of the giant boys spied Barry standing in the grass. Carefully, he leaned down and looked Barry right in the eye.
what a funny-looking bug,
He said. Then he called to his friends to come and look at Barry. Now let me tell you, Barry was a little scared. In fact, he was a lot scared. He wanted to run away, but the giants blocked his path. With a mischievous grin, one of the giant boys pointed his squirt gun at Barry. Oh, Barry caught a full blast of water in his fuzzy face. He was really scared now and started to run away. Every place he turned, there was a giant trying to either step on him or catch him. Scrambling over a leaf and under a twig, Barry tearfully made his escape up the path. Puffing and panting, he found his way back to the top of the hill. The old caterpillar was still trying to untie his antenna, so Barry untied them for him. You were right, Mr. Caterpillar, said Barry. I shouldn't have gone down there. I'm confused, and I don't know what to do. It was a mistake to run away from home. Now I am ashamed to go back. Barry leaned against a toadstool and began to cry large, purple Hucklebug tears. The wise old caterpillar smiled a little smile and said, "Little Hucklebug, if you have learned from your mistake, it is not a mistake, but a lesson. As you grow older, you will make other mistakes."
Why does he have 2 arms?
Because he's a bug. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 arms. Because he's a bug.
I'm talking about why does he have 2 arms on each side?
Well, bugs have 6 legs and arms total. So 2 arms on this side, 1 leg on this side, 2 arms on this side, 1 leg on this side. That counts to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total. That is a bug with arms and legs. The right number of them. Can I read the book then? Go home now and do what needs to be done. Always remember the lesson you've learned today. Barry wiped a tear from his eye. Then, thanking the caterpillar for his kindness, he headed home to the Hucklebug village. He walked through the beautiful flowers and the forests of silver blue grass. Entering the village, he bravely marched up to the mayor and said, "Mr. Mayor, I am really sorry for running away. I have learned from my mistake, and it is a lesson I will always remember. I promise that I will never run away again." The mayor patted Barry on the head and told him that he was forgiven. Since he had run away, though, he would have to work an extra day as punishment. Then the kind mayor smiled and told Barry to play for the rest of the day. Barry Hucklebug gleefully skipped away to join his friends at home. Mistakes are always mistakes, or so I've heard them say.
Mommy, that's the front.
Can I read this? Yeah, it is the same as the front. Almost.
Because it's in the upstairs.
Mistakes are always mistakes, or so I've heard them say. But if it teaches a lesson, the mistake will go away.
And after this picture, it's the front. Oh, done.
The end.
Hucklebug story.
Hucklebug.